Hello, people of the internet. I recently went to the German Open and I played, apart from the main event, also the Genesys side event that was hosted there. And I won it. So I wanted to give my deck profile for this Genesys deck that I played. And you probably read it in the title. It is Gem Knight, so I'm not making a big fuss about it. And we can go right in, and while I explain a bit of what I played and some of the absolutely horrendous ratios that I was playing, because I didn't get my hands on all the cards that I wanted, so I had to make compromises from here and there. This list still won the side event. So if you're interested in that, let's hop on in. Obviously, it is a Gem Knight list, so I played 3 of the Neperim. It's the best starter that you have in the deck, and it searches everything for you. Most of the time, it is like a toss-up between the Hollow Core or your Gem Knight Dispersion, like Dispersion of the Gem Knight. I don't know what the English name is. I have German cards, so you search this card. So basically, whenever you go and start your plays, you want to do it with Neperim. The other card that can get you there, and because of a lack of the Link monster that we have, because it's Genesys, I was playing 3 of the Gem Armadillo. It's also a normal summon that searches you a gem. In this case, you want to search for either the Quartz or the Hollow Core, or in any niche scenarios that can be enabled by your cards in hand. Like if you have a Gem Knight Fusion in hand, then you could maybe even search for a Neperim. But most of the time I was searching for the Hollow Core to get the free special and to get the Gem Knight Fusion into the grave and then go from there. But also Gem Knight Quartz came up as well. Like I was going second most of the time, so obviously Gem Knight Quartz with any monster on board has its merit, and that's why we're here. Gem Knight Quartz. This discards 2 searches or places in your spell and trap zone 1 fusion permanent spell, which basically are all of your good ones. Scatter Fusion and Brilliant Fusion are permanent fusion spells, so there you go. Only requires your opponent to have a card in hand. A monster on field. I am super sorry, it is late and I brought my kids to bed and now I'm tired. So if I'm doing typos while speaking, which I know it's misspeaking, but I'm so far out of it. Let me go through this, okay? And the last 2 cards are 2 Hollow Core. You don't want to brick on this because it can basically dump only once, and you can send it to grave through Gem Knight Dispersion or through your Scatter Fusion or your Brilliant Fusion. You can get rid of the second one in deck, but you only need to see 1, and it's very searchable in this deck. Talking about Dispersion, obviously 3 because it has 2 modes and you can use both per turn. So if you draw 2, it's not even like a brick or any card you can't use. It's you just use both. Cool. One of the best cards in the deck. Not much to add to it. Like either you fuse from deck or you just search whatever you need. And if you have 2, you just search the Hollow Core, send the Gem Knight Fusion, and then the fusion is online. Hooray! It always works. Talking about Gem Knight Fusion, I'm playing the alt art because I like to not get or to not mess up the original art with the art that has Brilliant Fusion, because they look very similar to me. So I'm playing the alt art and I have a Brilliant Fusion and 2 Scatter Fusion. Those are the permanent fusion spells that you set off your Quartz. So this makes your deck go, basically. And a card that I don't think I ever resolved is the Absorption Fusion. I played it mostly because I had 1 spare slot in my deck left, and it's a 0-point card, and I wasn't sure what to play otherwise. So, Absorption Fusion, but I don't think I ever resolved it during the tournament. Okay. Supplementary engine. It was the Shadow Fusion engine, and to the Shadow Fusion I played the Nashadol Genius and a Shadow Dragon. This is a very nice package, and I think it came up in 2 games out of the 7 that I played. It was a 3-round tournament. It was supposed to be 4, but somehow they couldn't get it set up to be 4 rounds, so we played only 3, and I won 2-1, 2-0, 2-0. So I had 7 games that I played, and in those 7 games, I think in 2 Shadow Fusion came up, and in the other games where I drew Shadow Fusion, I basically just discarded it. But it came up twice, and it was quite nice. You get a lot of agency from it. Get your Shadow Construct, get your Neperim engrave, so you can special summon it out, so you can start your Gem Knight plays. You can also negate something with a Nashadol Genius, or pop something with a Dragon. It is quite nice, and especially in my opinion, lower powered format like Genesys is, this is quite nice. The best card that is not engine, well, non-engine, is Herald of the Orange Light, and I wanted to actually play more of the generic fairy monsters, in this case the Shizu Shufflers, but I only had 3 of those, which were 2 Medora and 1 Kaldo. I wanted to play like at least 4. 6 would be ideal to see them more often, to always have them live. So it came up actually in one game that I didn't have a live orange light in my hand. But after all, I still won this game. So it is not like you need to resolve the orange light, but it's really powerful. Especially getting one of those engrave, which gives you like stopping an effect, very important effect, and then like having access to something that messes your opponent's graveyard up. It's quite nice. Next, 3 Veiler, 3 Nibiru for generic hand traps, and I wanted to still play a bit of Breaker, a few Breakers, since like Droplet and Feather Duster and Lightning Storm were quite expensive point-wise, and I was always teetering around the edge of the 100 points, so I played Forbidden Chalice. Give me a break. After that short intermission, last card on my main deck before I get interrupted again, Final Bringer of End Times. I only had 1, I wanted to play more. It's quite a nice card. Moving on to the extra deck, I had a Master Diamond Dispersion package, which consists of Master Diamond Dispersion, obviously. I was not playing Master Diamond, and the possible targets, which are Prismora, Aquamarine, Ruby, and Topaz. You can basically mold your board that you achieve out of Master Diamond Dispersion regarding the situation. This is basically, if you have the Gem Knight Fusion engrave, it's an infinite pop, as long as you have material engraved, but that shouldn't be an issue around that game state when you get to it. Aquamarine is a bounce, which is quite nice, and those are for some big attack pushes. Then I have the 3 ladies, Brilliant Diamond, Lady Rose Diamond, and Seraphinite for the extra normal, and the other ones can come up. This is also like cheats out a card from the deck. Lady Rose Diamond is a pop and some destruction protection. So that is quite nice. And the last cards are obviously the Shadow Construct, because I'm playing the Shadow package. 2 generic Xyz. In this case, it's Evil Swarm, Exciton Knight, and the Tornado Dragon, which came up surprisingly enough. I didn't expect this. This didn't come up, but those came up. And then I had 4 extra cards, which rarely came up. If not, I don't think they actually really came up. Were 2 Entis, Garura, Malong, and Meteorologic Aggregator for the card that is in the side, Ultimate Slayer. Let's go to the side. Just a quick overview. It's not crazy. Again, some ratios were absolutely all over the place. So 3 Ultimate Slayer, to out some problematic cards on the field. I was thinking about stuff like, yeah, I don't know. I expected maybe some Lunar Light stuff, but that could be out of the format. So just to make sure, I played some Ultimate Slayers or something that is really annoying. Also, like generic hand traps, 3 DD Crow for more grave-based decks. And then for everything that's really big, I had 4, in this case, 4 different kaijus. 1 Santa Claus, 1 Gamma Seal, and 2 Gadala. Because those were the ones that I had ready. I had more, kaijus ready. Radian, Jizukiru, or even like the what's the fire dragon one? I forgot this name, but there's also like this one, and I didn't use them. Like I cited them in twice, but I don't think they actually came up. And the last cards are funny card, Vados. I would like to play 3 because every deck that plays a field spell is getting absolutely boned by this card. And it came up against my first opponent who played Ninja. Because they have a field spell. So that was quite funny. 1 card to fill out the side was the Dark Hole, and the last 3 cards were Twin Twisters for back row decks. This is my deck, or was my deck, which I was playing. It, again, was super fun to play. It was one of my favorite decks at the time. The matchups were round 1 against Ninja, which I won basically in time, which is not possible, but I won in time in this scenario. By just finishing it in time, and my opponent being generous enough to say, well, you went to battle phase and won, because that was exactly what was missing, and he was generous enough to say, like, those 10 seconds you would need to declare everything, you can have this. And round 2 was against one of my teammates, basically, or from my locals, who played Doom Z, who absolutely hated this matchup, so it was quite enjoyable for me in this scenario. But shout out to Kralle. And then the final was against Super Quants, which I won 2-0. Had some really nice hands against this deck. Never went to Magnus. I think round 1 I stopped them really, really hard with a orange light on the Alphan. Then I had the Shuffler Engrave to shuffle back like a few materials so they can't recycle them, especially Alphan Spike and Alphan. And I think I also shuffled like back a black layer. And I think they ended on a blue layer, just a lone blue layer plus a Lusterex with 2 materials. And it had like the quick effect because it had white attached. And I think that was it, so I could push through that. And in game 2, I opened 2 Veiler to stop No, it was not Alphan. I stopped... What did I stop? Oh, I don't remember. I stopped 2 cards, and that basically meant the end of the turn and meant the end of the game, because Gem Knights is really, really good into winning game 2 on the spot. That was my deck profile. Excuse the short interruption that we had from the neighboring room, where my dogs decided that around 10 p.m. it is time to absolutely go apeshit. All right, I'm going to leave you to that. Have a good bye.